What is self-improvement? The Self-Improvement Bible states the following. All Father Papa Peterson once said,
What do you mean by self? The totality of a person is certainly their iterations across time. It's at least that, because there's a past you and there's a present you and there's a future you, and whatever you is in the final analysis is the aggregation of all of that across time. And maybe the aggregation of all of your manifestations in every social context as well.
So now we know what the self of self-improvement is. Now what does improvement mean? Oh, there's actually no answers in this book. So let's just use Google. To improve means develop or increase in mental capacity by education or experience. Achieve or produce something better than. So the definition of self-improvement is developing an increase in capacity and competence by education or experience for the community that consists of you across time. So when you start self-improvement, how and when or what should you start? As I read another passage in the Bible from All Father Papa Peterson once again.
How am I insufficient and how can I rectify that? Both of those are within your grasp. And what's cool about it, it's called the Matthew Principle, and economists use it to describe how the economy in the world works. To those who have everything, more will be given. From those who have nothing, everything will be taken. It's like what's very pessimistic in some sense, because it means that as you start to fail, you fail more and more rapidly. But it also means that as you start to succeed, you succeed more and more rapidly. And so you take an incremental step, and now you can lift 55 pounds instead of 52.5 pounds. You think, well, what the hell's that? It's like, it's one step on a very long journey, and it starts to compound on you. So a small step today puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day, and then that puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day. And you do that for 2 or 3 years, man, you're starting to stride.
So you start by asking yourself the question, where could you be better? What are your shortcomings? Are you not socially skilled enough? Are you not physically fit enough? Do you have some emotional problems you need to work through? Do you need to find new hobbies, new friends? Do you need to find some inner peace, perhaps? That's where it all starts. Finding out what exactly it is that you want to improve over time. Once you have some idea of what you want to change in your life, then comes the fun part. Making and designing a plan that would work for you. Along with a plan, there's other things. The All-Father of Improvement, Papa Peterson, has another passage in the Bible about this part.
Set up some aims for yourself, goals that you actually value. You're going to have to put some effort into your life, and you need to be motivated to do that. What would you want from your friendships? What would you want from your intimate relationship? How would you like to structure your family? What do you want for your career? Well, how are you going to use your time outside of your job? And how are you going to regulate your mental and physical health? You develop a vision of what you would like your life to be, and that associates once the goal is established, and then you break down the goal into micro processes that you can implement. The micro processes become rewarding in relation to their causal association with the goal, and that tangles in your incentive reward system.
So now we know there needs to be a plan. The question is, what is your plan going to be if you're going to start self-improving? Based on the texts in the Self-Improvement Bible, I have made a schematic, professionally made, in order to show you and teach you how to get onto self-improvement in the most effective way possible. It all starts with the right mindset and also knowing where hell is, the place you would go to if you did nothing about your situation and you just kept on doing what you have been doing before. It could also be that you've been on self-improvement for a while, but you've gotten complacent the past few months or years perhaps, and you're trying to go back to being on self-improvement in order to improve your life. As you can see in this schematic, you start with a mindset and it all distills onto one life mission, which can take years or perhaps decades or perhaps an entire life to fulfill. For now, I won't go into detail onto this schematic. That's perhaps for another video someday. The Self-Improvement Bible has a lot of content. That's why I don't want to dwell on details too much. This was just the start of the Self-Improvement Bible. This was the first chapter that the Bible has to offer. It goes down into way more detail and other phases of self-improvement as well. I will keep on reading the Bible for you and explaining what the interpretations are. Explaining the self-improvement necessary message. And as always, don't forget, don't shoot the messenger.